To the Mill Artisan District on Lower State Street, where we talk about, again, a very exciting, in addition to the wind cluster, we have a very strong cluster of software companies in our county. And this is one of the most prominent ones, the Janelle Group. I'm going to ask David to summarize.
Yeah, right in the almost next door, adjacent to where Pierce will be moving in, Mill Artisan District in the back. Obviously, we know for the Frog Alley Brewing, a lot of different companies, Bountiful Bread. Janelle Group has the top floor, the 5th floor of that building, beautiful space, fully built with glass, all the new features that are required to bring people into the office, be inspired by the office. We're looking to extend their lease for an additional 5 years. We're providing rental assistance of $200,000 to extend that. They'll be with us downtown, one of the best places to work in the Council region for 5 years going until 2035. Very critical to the long-term financing of that $44 million Mill Artisan District building. And I don't think anything has been as transformative to an area as what that building has been to Lower State Street. From a seeker perspective, type 2 action, and anything else to add?
Yeah, can I get a motion on this?
So moved.
Thank you, Karen. Second by Sharon. Just a couple of comments. We thank the Janelle brothers who started this company. It is wildly successful. Over 100 employees, 35 additional employees that are contractors for them. They've made the Inc. 5000 list of fast-growing small businesses 7 years in a row. They've won many accolades for best workplaces, best work environments from the Business Review and from the Times Union. They are known for their workplace culture. I know they were doing a push-up contest, which I would have been an abysmal failure at, but they were trying to get like 1 million push-ups from their team. And they are really, the Business Review just did for the first time, did a piece on innovative employees under the age of 25. And two of the folks that they featured were Janelle employees. So this is like the textbook, high-tech, great work environment, a great employer, high wage software company that does business with national clients. And we're really blessed to have them here in Schenectady. They were facing an option period on their current lease, and this locks them in for 11 more years now, which is really terrific. And again, it goes to a point that we made following Steve's question, that we're going to be very aggressive about keeping these office employers in our community as doing whatever we have to do to lock them in. So this keeps Janelle here. It's their headquarters. They're growing nationwide. We just can't say enough about the growth of this company. We have all their revenue information, which is confidential, and it's stunning. They basically have year-over-year growth every year since their inception, which is why they show up on these national growth surveys. So pleased to present this, and happy to keep Janelle here until for many more years to come. And a motion to second, happy to answer any questions. Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. We stay in that same area right next door, the historic Blockhouse building. David's going to review a technical change which doesn't cost us any money. They were trading state dollars for Metroplex dollars on 2 different projects. I would ask him to summarize.
Yeah, it's again, it's a cost neutral move here. So the downtown revitalization initiative, the Lower State Street Facade Fund, which we are administering on behalf of the city. We went out and looked for projects that would fit the criteria to utilize that funding. Blockhouse was a great candidate, as was the Wedgeway, which is going through significant renovation and restoration. Some of the program requirements that are tied to the New York Main Street program, it's what it's based off of, really fits better in a project that has traditional bank financing. We didn't really want to go backwards and have to redo a bunch of due diligence that had already been done. And we had the option in talking with New York State Homes and Community Renewal, which runs the Housing Trust Fund, to just move that funding over to the Wedgeway building, basically replacing some of our cash resources and using those cash resources over at the Blockhouse. So we're getting the same thing. We're just using different funding sources in different places, really to save us a few $1,000s to redo reports that had been done a few years ago. So if you've driven by the Blockhouse recently, it's looking tremendous. Really thank JT Pollard and his team for putting that thing back together. It really is, I think, transformational for that corner, next to the improvements that CDTA made at the mobility hub, and then obviously the other improvements on over the state.
Have a motion on this? Karen, second by Sharon. I want to thank David and Danielle, who really came up with this idea of, it's a no-cost transfer. We're taking the state money that we have, moving it from the Blockhouse to Wedgeway, and moving some of our cash resources that were in Wedgeway back to Blockhouse. It's no cost to us, no new money. Keeps two good projects going strong.
That still has been wonderful.
Oh my gosh, the Wedgeway project has been just tremendous success.
Moving along well.
Moving along well.
Yeah.
So it was a really creative approach to, the other thing, if we didn't get the state to approve this transfer, we might have had to come out of pocket to replace those Blockhouse dollars with our resources, which we didn't want to do. And David was able to work with the state, Danielle was able to work with the state to approve the switch over to Wedgeway so we can have a no-cost exchange. So we appreciate the work. Happy to answer any other questions.
So, 4,000 is the remainder of the DRI money?
Yeah, we had them just go into two projects. We had requested additional proposals. We received some inquiries. There's a matching component to this. Some were not interested in finding that match. So these projects really fit what our criteria was, vacant buildings, significant renovations.
Great. Good point. Any other questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Next, we go to a contract award for another DRI project that we're very excited about, related to the Alco Heritage Trail and the Alco Tunnel project. I'm going to ask David to summarize.
What I've always, in my 10 years here, gotten excited about is the idea of OPM, other people's money, which Ray talks about a lot. Ray and then Jamie also said, there are a lot of processes involved with the state money, which there are, but we are working through them with the Downtown Revitalization Initiative. This is related to bringing on engineering consultant to help us put out bid documents for two different DRI-funded projects: the Elko Heritage Trail, which is the extension of the Elko Mohawk Harbor bike trail on East Front Street and down and connecting back in the park, Front Street Park, and then the Elko Tunnel, which is a currently closed city tunnel that there are plans to renovate it. We went out and requested proposals from engineering and design consultants. We are making the recommendation. We combined these two projects because we saw them as similar services. Of the 4 proposals we received, we're making the recommendation of Delta Engineering. We had county, city, and Metroplex score those proposals. We thought that was the strongest proposal. We like their approach, their experience working on river trails. Their main office is in the southern tier. Their local office is over at Mohawk Harbor. So we're very excited to move forward with them and move forward with putting these bid package together and with the idea of getting something out to get built later this year.
Great. Can I have a motion on this? Karen, second by Sharon, thank you. I love both of these projects. Over in Glenville, they did get the first course of paving done before the snow flow flagged, or whatever we say. So the Glenville Loop Trail is going to cover the other side of the river, connect to the Alco Heritage Trail. And the only gap then is the Alco Heritage Trail currently ends in the Front Street neighborhood. This connects it to the Riverside Park Trail. And then there's a contra lane going up Washington Avenue for bikers. And then you jump on the loop around the community college or SUNY Schenectady. And you can also cross the Western Gateway Bridge to connect to the Glenville Loop Trail, the River Loop Trail. So it's a very important segment of the trail. The Alco Heritage Trail has got rave reviews, the signage and the testimony to the Alco legacy has been very well received. The Alco Tunnel is another great transportation connection with the J connector going up J, hopefully connecting back to Knott Street. J Street becomes an important parallel road to Erie Boulevard, calmer, easier to walk, easier to ride bikes. So you go up past Cornell's. On that side, there's a closed tunnel. It gets reopened, gets lit, artwork comes out to Erie Boulevard. The city did a great job of planning a crosswalk there so you can cross at a designated cross to go over to the Mohawk Harbor. So both of these projects are very significant. We followed all the procurement rules and the bid processes. We got 4 bids. David does a great job with our team. I don't. Of getting bids. I mean, it's hard to get bids now. People are busy.
Yeah.
And we see time and time again on our proposals, we're getting good response. People want to do business with us and they compete for our work, which is very, very important. So we had 4 bids. It was thoroughly reviewed and we're happy to bring this forward tonight and get this moving. I want to thank Danielle for all her work on this as well. Any other questions?
I have a question. When is the deadline for obligating DRI monies for the extension?
I don't believe there is one. It's not like ARPA money.
So
The
it's
state
totally-
carries these, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen deadlines as it relates to some of the CFA awards. I don't think we're not close to it, at least at this point. We're not worried about hitting a deadline. The state, Matt Smith used to work for the city of Schenectady. He is over at Department of State working with us closely on this one.
And they want to just, as long as we're moving them all forward, and we are.
Well, you are, I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I've been following.
Sure.
So it's
Sure.
really good, but just didn't want us to get into a bind.
No?
Yeah, we'll double check, but we're in good shape.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none, we'll call a question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Next, we continue the awarding of contracts. This one for auditing.
BST in 2020, there was a competitive RFP process. BST and Co. Was awarded a 3-year contract with an option for 2 additional years. We have seeked cost requests from them for the 2 additional years, $18,250, which is pretty much in line with a small increase from the previous years, going up to $18,750 in fiscal year 24. We're very happy with their work. They're thorough. They're, I think, very efficient in what they do, and we'd recommend increasing 2 additional years to our auditing service contract with them.
Motion on this? Karen, do you want to make a comment?
Yeah, I do. I wanna make a
Brad,
comment.
second. Go ahead, make a comment.
So, I just want to commend the work that they do. BST has been with us for a very long period of time, and I don't want anyone to be concerned about us staying with the same firm, because they do rotate the CPAs. It's a large enough firm that they rotate the partners in and out of the work that's done here. So it's a very, very good firm, and they do a very good job, and very confident in what they do on an annual basis. And they are very efficient. They are extremely efficient.
And we're blessed to work with our
Yeah.
very talented.
Oh, and
Yeah, they
Can
commented
I-
on Tonya being, and Tonya did also make the point, which I very much like about Tonya, that we are continue to gain efficiency here. And we should see minimal increases, which with their proposal, I think that's what we saw.
yes.
So we're thankful for that. So we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion on this? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Thanks. Next, we go to the Proctor's District Energy Project and an update from David.
Those remember 2005, Metroplex had 3 parcels, developed a 93-room Hampton Inn hotel. A few other hotels have followed since. As part of that transaction and Proctor's investment in their district energy system, we were party to an easement, which allowed the underground pipes to go through this easement area and then go underneath State Street to feed this building. So when we are cold or warm and the right temperature, it's because we're getting it from Proctor's district energy system. That system can also do electrical generation. They're working with homes, and Proctor's is working with Homes and Community Renewal right now to make that additional step. to service this building. Obviously, thank Valesi for their cooperation on that. Our involvement here is to amend our easement to allow them to put in the additional infrastructure to make that connection. I talked directly with Philip Morris. He's very excited about this project, long time coming, and it's nice to continue to help proctors in their goals.
Motion on this, Karen, seconded by Brad. It's a very creative project. It's taken some time, but the end result, one of the reasons the state likes the project is that in case of an emergency, another Irene or Lee, or God forbid something worse, the Center City Proctor's block area will have the ability to continue to operate, have power, have heat, have what you need to sustain activity. So it's really like it's set up to be an emergency operations center in the event of, and the state's trying to have these in various places, looking ahead to the fact that with climate change and other things, we have challenges like this at times. So this would be a hub that has resiliency. It's not near a flood zone. It could generate its own heat, power, water, electricity, and be self-sustaining. So they're excited about it, provided some funding, and that's what this project's about. Yes.
Will this project go across the street, State Street?
Sharon, you're right on top of it as usual. Yes, and that's something that Philip has given us his word, that will be done expeditiously and carefully, and with his personal attention to that detail. Because I do not want to have disruptions on the main Proctor's block at all. So it's going to be a cut that will be made, and the lines will be buried. But we will see some activity there. I'm not sure when that is
Yeah,
scheduled.
he's working with the city on that part of the easement as well to get across the street. And we'll coordinate that with city engineering and the Department of Public Works crews.
And who will be doing the repair on State Street?
He will.
That would be the responsibility of
Contractors, yeah. We're gonna watch that extremely. We've
Because
covered
I've been
that.
through State Street
Oh, yeah,
a long time.
Yeah, right. We've been, Philip has given us word that it would be a very minor disruption,
Okay.
and that he personally would be a good steward of that project and minimize any disruptions for a period of several days, as we understand it, at most. And traffic would continue to be open and things. We just can't
We just can't
have
shut
that.
down.
Yeah, and it's got to be a perfect repair,
Yeah.
so we're on top of that. That's a very good question. And we raised a lot of concerns about that and worked through them with them. Any other questions?
I will comment, when he started all of this with building his own energy and his own source of, heating the sidewalks, and, I was at Key Bank back then, and I will tell you that it was very forward thinking back then. He did get a lot of support from the bank and from the leadership, and, I just commend Philip on his forward thinkingness, but I was thinking the same thing, what's gonna happen to State Street, but hopefully it won't be too detrimental to anyone, but, I think it's a great move, and I'm impressed with how well our city is kind of moving forward in a very energy efficient way.
Well, yeah, thank you for those comments. We've also been told that it'll offer us the opportunity to provide discount electric rates for tenants in the area, in this general vicinity, especially here at Center City, which we're looking forward to as a recruiting tool for companies, because power costs are one of the factors people look at when they're making a move. So, any other comments? Good feedback for the board on this, as always. Seeing none, we'll call a question and give Philip his easement and tell him that we're going to be watching that.
I'll make sure that we're all watching.
We're all gonna make sure State Street stays intact.
Right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Have to do, David, do you want to?
Yeah, I just want to introduce Gonzalo here. He is one of Brad's students. He's interning with us for the term. He is an economics major, and originally currently lives in Madrid, Spain. So I had him come here, tell us what he can about his experiences in other cities. He's helping with some of the data crunching, reporting season, looking at some of our past projects. So happy to have him. That was me. I was not as cultured as he is 20-some years ago, but see what I can learn from him.
Welcome.
Absolutely.
We're always happy to have students from Union here to help us out. Thank you. Any comments from the board on any other subjects? I was in front of the city council last night with the Gillespie Group, providing them with an update on the arena project. I sent you a copy of the PowerPoint today. If you take a look at that, I'll give you a good update of where things stand. Our next meeting, if you can note it on the calendar, is February 21st, same time, 5:30. And with that, we'll take a motion to adjourn. Second, Sharon, thank you. Have a great evening. Thanks.
Yeah, Ken, it wasn't so bad, so kind of Bob.